Michigan's Best, and we continue our Sweet Treat of the Week series brought to you by Michigan Sugar, makers of Pioneer Sugar. And today we're going to go on the savory side of things, and I could not be more thrilled to introduce my friend, Mr. Bill Wall, who is the owner of Bone Daddy's BBQ in Midland, which is Michigan's best barbecue, #1, and we always have a great time with him. And Bill, you're going to share with us your pick for Sweet Treat of the Week, but before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about Bone Daddy's, because you recently have moved to a new location. You're still making award-winning barbecue, and you're kind of the king of Michigan barbecue. I like to refer to you as the Wizard of Smoke.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, we did. We moved over to a location. We're only a couple of miles from our other location. We're in the Midland Plaza, they call it, 1900 South Saginaw Road. It's kind of nice. Our other place, we only had seating for about 42 people, and it was quite busy and lined out the door daily. It was a little awkward. And we moved into a larger location. Now I have seating for 120 people. Very comfortable, very casual, and just a very nice place. Very happy with it.
It is. I've gotten to visit a couple times now, and it is much more spacious than your previous spot, which I'm sure you needed a little bit more space after winning Michigan's best barbecue.
Yes, we did. It was very nice. Just before this bug came around, we were basically lined up at the door every day up until March, and it won't be long before we get back into the swing of things. We're just going to have to get this wrapped up, get this bug under us.
Well, we're all waiting for that day. We can't wait. Now, Bill, you're an award-winning barbecue pitmaster, not just for Live in Michigan's Best, because I can see the trophy behind you, but you've kind of won the Oscars of barbecue 2 times.
No, actually, believe this or not, I am the only 4-time winner of the biggest barbecue show on the planet Earth. Yes, I am the only 4-time winner, and I'm also the only 4-time People's Choice Award winner at the same event. This event was held in Reno, Nevada, and it's kind of called the Super Bowl of barbecue. It's a very prestigious event. It's an invite only, and a few years ago they brought me into the event, and we've had many successful years out there over the year.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. So what is it about your barbecue that makes it different than other versions of barbecue?
Well, it's all of it. I got to tell you, I think importantly, and probably more importantly, is you got to have some good smoking woods. You got to understand the woods. I use a variety. You've seen the wood pile. There are a couple of photos before, but I've got hickory, I've got cherry, I've got maple and sugar maple, and I think the wood plays an important part. And obviously, the quality of the meats. If you cook enough barbecue, after a while, you understand where you got to be and what you're looking for when it comes to quality barbecue. And of course, the things like dry rubs are very important. You never know, if you need a little dry rub, you got, a nice 25-pound bag to go ahead and get you going. So I think all of that really plays a part in it. And of course, you got to have a great team. You got to have everybody, kind of on their toes and having fun, and everything's got to kind of come together. It gets to a point, some of these events will have 100,000 people a day at them. And when you get into the zone, you don't hear a word. It's just as quiet as could be. It's just like snow falling in the middle of a Michigan winter. So it's just a great way to focus. And when you get into that game, that's when you start turning out some great barbecue. And a good sauce helps too. It's nice to have a sauce as a kicker. It's just kind of a highlighter. But if you get the fundamentals down with the woods and the dry rubs and the quality meats, and you're about halfway there.
All right. Well, we're going to get to Sweet Treat of the Week in just a second, but I do want to mention something that you just said, Bill, about your use of wood, because I think that was the one thing that really set you apart in my mind across Michigan barbecue. And you repeatedly said that you do Michigan barbecue because you source your wood locally. But when I tasted one of your wings, and then I tasted rib, and they all had the same sauce on them. They all had your signature sauce on them, and yet they tasted completely different. And you said to me, it's the wood, Amy.
And it really is. Today I just did some wings in hickory. I like certain woods for certain products. When I do my prime rib, I like to use hickory. I like the flavor of hickory and beef. It's just a wonderful, great way to go. When I get into pork loins or pork shoulders and things, I prefer something a little sweeter. My maple woods and my sugar maples. And I like to change the flavor so that each one isn't So they're not all in the same hodgepodge. So everything doesn't have the same sauce, same dry rub, same flavor. Not only that, but different products that I cook, I like to get different colors out of them. And I can also achieve that by using different woods. Cherry wood, and a lot of people don't know, but a cherry wood actually emits a beautiful red color, of a really nice hue to a slab of ribs. And apple has a very nice brown, golden, light tan color to it. Hickory obviously is going to have a little bit of a darker color, but believe it or not, hickory has sugar in it, and it actually has a bit of a sweetness to it. So I like to work with the woods. I kind of like mixing wine in a vineyard somewhere, maybe like a port, you know. But I mix my woods. I have a lot of passion for it. I enjoy it. All the wood that I use, I cut myself. I split myself. I stack myself, and then I start sampling them as I go through the season. I know about when they should be ready, and I start sampling them for color and flavor. And then I start looking at my projects, and I pair my wood with my projects. And along with that as well, I change my dry rub a little bit as well too. I try to get certain colors on my ribs, certain colors on my pork shoulder, certain colors on my smoked turkeys or hams. So it's all very important. I love to do it. I think it just gives me that extra step that people seem to really notice and enjoy.
Well, I know that I notice, because that dedication to detail is absolutely insane. So let's get to sweet treat of the week. And this is something a little bit different as we talk about cooking with Pioneer Sugar, is using it in a savory application. And so we're going to talk about Bone Daddy's dry rub and why sugar plays such an important role in smoking meat, right, Bill?
Yeah, you called me a couple of days ago. I just want to give you, I started to run some numbers here at the restaurant on what kind of volume and sugar that I had been using. And just on a general consensus with the gals, we use sugar for our cornbread muffins, for our pies. We make our own potato salad and our own coleslaw, a couple of kinds, and all of those require sugar of some sort, some amount. So I ran some numbers, put them together, and at a couple 100 pounds a month and a little over a ton a year, after 17 years, I'm right around 20 tons of Pioneer Sugar. I have used Pioneer Sugar for 17 years, and that's at my restaurant before I was working with my father's company and some other nonsense. But it's amazing to think that I've gone through 20 tons of Pioneer Sugar in the last 17 years. And mind you, I'm not a bakery. I'm just a barbecue joint. But what a big role that Pioneer plays in everything we do here. And I can show you, I'll tell you a little something. Right here, I got this is a 25-pound bag of Bone Daddy's dry rub. And the thing about this dry rub, dry rubs are mixed. I think they're, give or take, I think they're 7 parts salt and 3 parts sugar, to that effect. Now, what I've learned to do over the years is this dry rub in this particular bag is it's very strong, very bold, which works great for my briskets without sugar, and my chicken wings, my smoked turkey. Those things really don't require sugar in a dry rub. So that dry rub I'll mix differently. This is what I like to call a hot dry rub. And right now it's in its naked form. I do it for a couple of reasons, because I can, firstly, I can save money on shipping. If I were to, 50% this 25-pound bag now is going to weigh 50 pounds. That costs a lot of money in shipping when you're shipping a couple of tons of dry rub a year. Mm-hmm. So I've been able to take my dry rub here, but it serves other purposes, so I can actually mix what I want for what I'm cooking. Depending on what wood I'm using, believe it or not, because of the color the wood gives off, I will also change if I use a white sugar or if I use a brown sugar. The brown sugar tends to darken things a little bit more, so if I'm using a cherry wood, I'll use a little bit of a brown sugar. If I'm getting into where I'm using some darker woods, like a soft maple tends to a much darker color on the ribs, then I'll go with a white sugar, because I know I can keep the, it's about eating with your eyes as well too. The ribs have got to look great, and they've got to have that perfect color. They've got to have that nice sheen to them, and that's just the kind of the goofy stuff I do. So
I love that, though. It's amazing that sugar can play such a huge role in savory cooking like that. Now, Bill, what is one tip you would give a home barbecue enthusiast to make their barbecue one step better?
Well, I think once again, back to the woods, I think you got to go that way with it. But, I think more importantly, especially for the home guy, the backyard guy, when I started making dry rub myself, I really, other than following some of the basics, there's a few ground rules, 50-50 salt and sugar as a ground rule. But I think it's really important that you put in your dry rub what you like. If you like crushed red pepper and you like a hot dry rub, hey, swing with it. If you like more roasted chilies and roasted garlics and you're into roasted onions and you prefer that flavor, I think you need to go with that in your dry rub. As well as you got to kind of remember to make sure that your sauce is going to work with your dry rub. You can do anything you want with a dry rub, but make sure you're not using a vinegar-based dry rub with a big brown sugar, a vinegar-based sauce with a big, brown sugar dry rub. So I think making sure that your sauce complements your project. But more importantly, I think it's about putting the ingredients and the things in your sauce and dry rub that you like. The only way to get better at barbecue, it's just practice. It's a daily thing. You could do it twice a day for 10 years and still learn something every day. So on that end of it, that's more about practice and knowing your equipment. And you can cook on anything. You don't have to have special gear. You can use anything in your backyard. You just have to know how it works and work with it. So, any piece of equipment will work. Just get to know your equipment. Make sure you use a dry rub that you're happy with and it's got things in it that you like. And make sure that your sauce is going to complement your end project if you're going to use sauce with it.
Those are some really smart tips. And I love your theory that you have to just practice, because I saw that just the other day you were trying out a turkey and I'm like, what the heck? He's done this a gazillion times, but he's still practicing and still perfecting.
Well, and I do that. I know it sounds goofy, but we're getting into turkey season here and then ham season shortly after that with prime rib. And, every year I discover a couple more things that really work for me and just make my turkeys prettier and prettier and smokier and just the timing for the woods and how dry is the wood and how cold is it outside. But believe it or not, I do. I practice with turkeys. I'll do probably 5 or 6 of them. Some of them I'll donate to the Open Door here locally in Midland. A couple of them I'll give away to my neighbors and things like that, and just looking for reviews from them. But I've done turkeys now for about 20 years, but I like to start practicing early. That way when it comes time for doing turkeys over the holidays, I'm ready. I know the wood, what color wood I'm going to get and the smoke I'm going to get out of it. I know how the cabinet's working. I know the size of the bird, how long it takes. And so a little bit of practice makes perfect on that. And I know it sounds goofy. I must have done a tractor trailer full of turkeys already, but it doesn't hurt.
It never hurts to keep practicing.
And as goofy sounds, I do.
And that...
Well, now that I'm Michigan's best barbecue, the pressure is really on right now. I got to make sure everything's spot on. I mess up now, I'm in trouble. So, yeah.
Well, that is why you are the Wizard of Smoke. Now, Bill, I know that you have upcoming orders for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. You mentioned the turkeys, the hams, your prime rib. If people maybe want to place an order or plan a visit to your new location in Midland, where can they go for all the information that they need?
Right. Well, we have a couple of Twitter, but basically the Bone Daddy Facebook page is Bone Daddy's BBQ at Bone Daddy's BBQ. You go there, you'll find us. You can't miss it. Just Google Bone Daddy's. It'll pull up. There's a lot of information, and we're really easy to get to. No problems at all. As far as our location, that's all there. Our daily menus, our turkeys, our hams, our prime ribs, all of that will be available for you. The catering as well. But don't forget, we got a couple, 3 gals here, phones everywhere in the place. So if you need to call and talk to somebody, just give us a call. We'll be glad to help you out. We're taking orders for turkeys now. We're getting ready to do our hams. We do an old-fashioned bone-in ham, and those are about 25 to 28 pounds. But there's a lot of photos of the turkeys. There are some videos. There's also videos of hams, prime ribs. All of those videos are available, and anything that you see there is exactly what we do here. What you see on our Facebook page is exactly what we do.
Well, I say roll that beautiful ham footage, Bill. That's fantastic. And sounds like a great way to celebrate the holiday season here in Michigan with some of Michigan's very best barbecue. Bill Wall from Bone Daddies in Midland. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Amy. Always a pleasure. Always love seeing you.
Good to see you too. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We have to thank Michigan Sugar, makers of Pioneer Sugar, for sponsoring this segment. And if you want to get more information about Bone Daddy's Barbecue and this awesome dry rub, head to mlive.com.